Yo, 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 it's BPG here. I'm bringing you guys another top 10. Before I get into this top 10, I just want to give a shout out to the whole ARC community, Salt DC, everything, Small Tribes, ARC Apocalypse. Without this, honestly, my YouTube wouldn't have popped off the way it popped off. So I just want to give a shout out to everyone in the ARC community. I love all y'all, so thanks again. Make sure to like and sub these videos, and I'll keep giving you guys great ARC content. Alright, so let's get into this. This is going to be top 10 strongest mega tribes of all time. I am actually really excited to dig into this one because I got asked about doing it before and I just kept saying, no, I don't really want to do it. But I actually started to think about it, and it was actually really, really fun to go through the past of Ark because I've been playing since Ark started. So it was really good going through all like the old video clips and everything, all the old mega tribes, all the mega tribes that Skynet was a part of. So I was actually really excited to get into this. So at number 10, I give it to number 10 is the Unknown. If you guys don't know who the Unknown was, they used to be a part of the Relentless mega tribe. That was when Ark was broken at its finest. Relentless was literally all the strongest tribes put into one alliance, and it ended up breaking up quickly because the competition was like little to none with them roaming around. But the Unknown, when they were around, a lot of people actually hate the Unknown because of the leader Scrappy. I never minded Scrappy. I've PvP'd against them and with them, and honestly, I just gave him props a lot for how he ran Unknown. Unknown was a really strong tribe after they broke up from the Relentless. They got meat ran a few times by SC, and SC started hitting them really bad. They eventually broke up and then restarted when they joined AHAM, when we were a part of AHAM. But for the most part, they deserve all the credit because Unknown was a real big powerhouse at the time, if you guys hated or didn't hate them. Because I thought, like, the time that they had this one Ragnarok, I cannot remember the number, but it was one of the oldest Ragnaroks out there until it finally got wiped and the Unknown broke up. So I want to give a shout out to the Unknown at number 10. At number 9, I give this to another powerhouse tribe, Knox. Knox could still be around, maybe not many members, or maybe PRNV is still kind of a thing, but Knox on its own was one of the strongest mega tribes out there because when they first started, like, not a lot of people knew who they were. They came out of literally nowhere. You had the YouTube channel Greasers, and like that's where I followed everything. But what really put Knox on the list was when they wiped SC era. That was literally like everybody watched their base tour video. Everybody knew how powerful Euro was. Later to find out when Knox actually went in and wiped them, they barely had ammo. They weren't as strong as they made the video to seem. So I give a shout out to Knox for actually pulling that off because a lot of people didn't even go near SC era. Everyone thought they were the powerhouse that they were, and then Knox came around and just exposed them and wiped their whole base. You could actually check it out from Jamesy's videos when he was a part of Knox. So shout out to Knox at number 9. And number 8, I give it to Abaddon. Now, I was actually a part of Abaddon. That was our first mega tribe that Skynet ever got into. It was Omniscient, Praxis, and PR that joined Abaddon at the time. PR just came off the breakup from Relentless, and they ended up making the Abaddon tribe. Abaddon was really got put on the map for what they did to the Purge. Now, I don't believe it's SC Purge, that Purge, if everyone's thinking that. The Purge used to be its own pretty much mega, you call it a mega tribe because they had a bunch of servers. But what really put Abaddon on the list was when they wiped their center. They wiped the underworld. Now, the video footage might not still be around, but it was honestly a really good time in Ark when they wiped them. That's when we first joined, and like it was great being a part of Abaddon. But one thing that like I put Abaddon on the list for is nobody liked Abaddon. Everybody hated them. So like I'm not gonna lie, being a part of Abaddon was literally 98% defenses. After they wiped the purge, it was mostly defenses, and then sad things came when PR and I believe Omniscient or Praxis started getting into fights, and then Tetsu ended up leaving, and the whole tribes got broken up and everything. Well, we were still Abaddon on 233, the main Abaddon server. We were like, what's gonna happen here? And we ended up taking control of 233, so GG on Abaddon. I give a lot of props to them. I really enjoyed being in them. It was a great time, to be honest. At number 7, I give number 7 Karma Crew. Karma Crew was another tribe that was a part of the Relentless Alliance. They were a powerhouse, so even beforehand, they had server 50 Ragnarok, and like Checkmate's main base was in the Jungle 1 cave. And I'm not gonna lie, that was one of the fattest caves in all of Ark. And like, as you think about it now, like a Jungle 1 cave would never survive anymore because Ark's changed so much. But at the time, like Karma Crew did plays. Like they honestly, even after Relentless broke up, Karma Crew was still a powerhouse. They ended up turning into New Era and kept doing the reign of terror with the new name of New Era. But as Karma Crew, honestly, I give them props because server 50 was untouched, and they had to go up against some of the strongest tribes like UC and everything like that were attacking them. And or no, they were with UC. SC was attacking them all the time, and that's when they created New Era. And then a whole bunch of different alliances started after that, but we're not really going to get into that. But I give a shout out to Karma Crew at number 7. At number 6, a lot of people argue why this tribe's even on here, but honestly, I give them a lot of credit, was Darathaki. Darathaki didn't last too long after Legacy ended. A lot of people say it was because of the all the duping that was going on Legacy and how they were. But why I like put them up so high up, Darathaki was definitely the smallest mega tribe at the time. Like when they were even a part of Legacy going up against SC, like it was SC mainly was Darthaki's enemies. And like for a tribe that small going up against a mega tribe, like Darthaki had maybe 3 servers, 4 servers, and SC had 32, 33. So it was insane to see, and like Ashley really ran the tribe really well. He was a great leader of Darathaki. A lot of things ended up happening. Darathaki got insided. Candyman exposed their base. Like there's a lot of things that happened in the Ark history, but you can't give them credit as not one of the strongest because like they were going up against everybody. Everybody hated Darathaki at the time. They're definitely one of my favorite tribes that were around but aren't around anymore. So GG Darathaki, Ashley, if you still play, GG bro. Okay, top 5. Alright, so number 5. We are giving this to White Walkers. A lot of people will always talk shit about White Walkers because White Walkers is honestly a cancer tribe. They've been around for the beginning of Ark. They were always one of the main tribes to go up against SC, so it was really cool to see SC and WW at war, especially through all this time, because it's still going on. They still hate each other. At one point, they did have an alliance together, but that didn't last too long. We were a part of WW. I personally didn't want to leave WW. I thought WW was awesome. They dropped a lot of tribes. I respected a lot of the players. Surprisingly, they're not all Spanish. There's actually a lot of American players that did play in WW that I respected and I got along with. I thought WW is still one of the strongest tribes. Like, they've been through thick and thin, and like Next Tech and Bomba. Like, Bomba quit for a bit and then came back, so I give props to WW. And like WW is always there used to be an Arc YouTube video of SC and WW going at it in the water, and it was crazy because that's when Squids first came out, and that was on Legacy, and like watching that old style of PvP it's always going to be a favorite of mine because like honestly, Arc is broken now with all the things that they brought in, but at that point in time, WW definitely a powerhouse. They still are really strong. So coming in at number 4 is Space Cowboys because you hate Space Cowboys or not Space Cowboys. They're definitely one of the oldest Ark tribes in all of Ark. They been around since Legacy. Um, they've wiped countless servers. Like SC still has never broken up, and I honestly give them a lot of credit for that because like, come on, man. There's been like their servers definitely dwindled, but SC's always been the one mega tribe with the most servers at a time. Like now it's getting and like a lot of the SC tribes finally broke up and everything, but when SC and UC were going at it in the pretty much the relentless war, it was crazy to watch. Just watching them go back and forth, back and forth. So I give them honestly a lot of credit, and they're definitely one of the powerhouses. At number 3, I give number 3 UC Gaming. So everybody knows Umbrella Corp, Envision or whatever, Envisions. Yeah, Envisions, I believe his name was the leader. UC was definitely the strongest tribe out there. They ended up finally getting wiped by SC, and the only reason why I put UC higher than SC was because of just the reign that they did before SC was even on the map. Like SC and UC were actually really really close allies at one point. Like even through the Relentless alliance, I'm pretty sure like what sparked it was UC couldn't raid ADA or something like that, and ended up making them look really weak, and then SC busted their balls, and then a huge server war came down, and the Relentless Reliance broke up, but honestly, UC was definitely the most popular mega tribe out there. They were honestly, like, I loved watching their videos. It was sad to see them actually get wiped, and to be honest, though, they were one of the strongest because they had the numbers. I don't know any credible PvPers from UC that are even still around today, or you know what I mean? Like they had sheer numbers, not skill. But I gotta give UC credit, and a lot of people would say UC should be number 1, but I just have a different look on things, and like there was a lot of mega tribes that actually I really wanted to add, but like I just thought these tribes were better. Like VVV for say, VVV was always a powerhouse. Like if anyone that deserves to be on the list would obviously be VVV, but I just couldn't fit them in. So we're going on to number 2. At number 2, this is actually my favorite tribe. I tried getting into them when I was in Skynet, but I ended up changing my mind once I got the offer. It was the French homies ADA. I honestly thought ADA was a powerhouse. I loved watching the 100 Psychos videos. Like when they would make all their videos, I'd make sure to subscribe and watch every single one because I honestly liked their style of PvP. It was more sheer bruteness that they brought, like just humbling bases, and they wiped a lot of servers. Now, a lot of people argue with it because ADA's main Scorched Earth did get wiped, and I'm not too sure if it was SC or Knox that I believe it might be Knox that wiped it. But finally, once that came crashing down, ADA broke up, and I don't know where ADA is now, but ADA was on it. I think they all pretty much went into VVV, but ADA will definitely go down as one of my favorite tribes. I just really enjoyed their style of PvP, and they didn't go down swinging. Like, they were not a part of the... Oh, they went down swinging, sorry. The Relentless tribe, ADA wasn't in it. So, like, AMW, ADA, all those tribes had to go up against Relentless and stuff, and ADA managed to power through it. So, I give props to ADA. And at number 1, now, I'm not going to say it's the tribe that's still around today. I'm going to say it's the tribe that was back then. The servers that they had before Pandora, before Abaddon, APR, Power Rangers. I honestly couldn't even talk shit about them at all. I got to play with them while I was in Abaddon. They're like Tetsu honestly built a really, really great tribe with the PR at the time, not PRNV, because that's when Knox and VVV. PR was in the Relentless Alliance, ended up leaving to go to the side that UC was on, and then after that side crumbled with the UC, they ended up splitting up and creating Abaddon with Omniscient and Praxis. One thing I give props to PR was because they never quit. They never quit. They started out in the beginning and they're still around to this day. Now, a lot of people hate PR to this day just because of the things. But I can tell you this, when PR turned into Pandora, their one Ragnarok server, I can't remember what it was. Maybe 99 or I can't remember the server number. That was by far the strongest server ever. So when they split up with Abaddon, they made the Pandora server. And I know 400 was one of theirs, Jorbo's Witnesses, I believe. But when they created that one Ragnarok server, that was the fattest Ragnarok server at the time. Like, the only people I could even compare the Ragnarok to was MCBH's, because MCBH had a crazy Ragnarok at the time. But PR, honestly, like, they were always one of my favorites. Like I said, I really liked how Tetsu built that tribe, and he was really strict on his tribe, but it really paid off. Now, I'm not talking about PR that's now around around these days. I'm talking about like old school PR, and all the old school PR members would respect that because like Arc was a way different time. It wasn't even as toxic as it is now because it is ridiculous. So I give props to number one PR. If people disagree or people want to add in or whatever you guys want to say, I just kind of really wanted to make this list, and honestly, I enjoyed making it really, really. So just want to say thanks, and hopefully I'll make some more top tens. Send me your thoughts. Tell me what you think. Right now I'm about to go smoke a blunt, so I had fun doing this though.